Shooters Connection offers products for competition shooters by competition shooters. With over 80 years of combined competition shooting experience, Shooters Connection is staffed by master and grandmaster shooters who live the shooting sports every day. We offer same-day shipping. Shooters Connection also sponsors over 100 of your matches every single year. So when it comes to finding everything you need to compete as a beginner or a seasoned grandmaster, Shooters Connection is the only name you need to know. Online at shootersconnectionstore.com.
All right.
All right.
Welcome back to the Hit Factor. I don't know, like, Matthew McConaughey is really not, like, a favorite guy of mine, like, even though he's from Texas, but he's, like, from Austin, Texas, so it's kind of not, it's like he personifies Austin, Texas, kind of like that, like I'm fake Texas. I don't know.
Yeah.
But
it's just because he does like whiskey or bourbon commercials. That's why you like him.
Yeah, he's got a bottle through Wild Turkey that is kind of his baby, and
really, he has like a signature bottle or something.
Yeah.
Oh.
It's like 80 proof. It's like low proof. Jeff would love it. I mean, like,
I would probably love it.
It's right up Jeff's alley. I forget I haven't actually bought a bottle. I forget the name of it. If it's Long Branch. Long Branch is one that Wild Turkey has. That may be it. But I'm forgetting. Speaking of, I got some Jack Daniel's Coy Hill. This would kill Jeff. It's like 139.1 proof.
Yeah,
scorched earth.
I would just keel over, as they say.
When Jeff comes to visit me sometime this summer, I'm gonna give him all. I'm gonna tell him it's like 80 proof stuff, and I'm gonna give him all the hot stuff. See what he can take.
I think I'll figure it out pretty quick.
Probably.
Yeah, it's Long Branch. That's the McConaughey special.
Yep. It is. Sasquatch, I assume you got water again tonight?
I am. I'm still trying to rehydrate from Dragon's Cup.
That's probably going to take about a month. Welcome to Texas. It was, I wasn't there, but like it was obviously crazy hot down there, and it's not uncommon for Midland to be that hot. Like it's even worse than where I live, but right now we're stupid hot for middle of May. Like we shouldn't be quite this hot yet.
Mm.
Yeah, it was hot in KC last week too. It was just it's a lot easier when you have a few months like building into it getting really hot and you start spending a lot of time outside.
Yeah.
It feels way worse when it's like, oh hey, you went from your heat running last week to here's a 100-degree day.
It is crazy. Like I was thinking about that this weekend as well because they had a CrossFit competition here in town in like the lot of one of the car dealerships, and it was on like the day that it was like 95 out here. It was like the hottest day of the week, and I was like, I wonder how that is because like working out in the heat is hard. But also think about like working out in the heat in a competition on like the very first day that it's actually hot of the year. Like that sounds brutal.
Dude, like you have to be prepared for that like a week in advance almost. Like hydration wise, like if you wait, like you got to be so prepared for that. And even then, you're still kind of screwed.
I drank a lot of water last week, and I'm pretty sure I consumed like 400 ounces of liquid while I was at the match, or more.
I noticed you say liquid.
Liquid? Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Was some of that recreation?
No. Normally I would try to have I had a Gatorade about every stage, and like 1 to 2 bottles of water per stage.
Jeez.
Do you ever drink pickle juice?
Nah.
No?
I mean, I have. I don't do it at matches.
An all-day match like that probably wouldn't be bad. Like at lunchtime to have like 4 to 8 ounces of some pickle juice, throw down.
Yeah.
Think about it.
Some Pedialyte probably wouldn't be bad.
Dude, I can't.
Jeff, are you drinking anything tonight?
Yeah. The early times, is that what it's called?
Yeah.
Yeah. Early times. Yeah. Drinking early times. The pour's a little heavy this evening.
That is. You have to
Yeah.
get through that. Thank
God.
God.
Dang.
That's
Anyway.
a rocks glass.
Yeah. Talking about
Yeah.
bourbon, though, we did swing by a few liquor stores there in Odessa,
Yeah.
and one of them actually had a bunch of Blantons on the wall.
Really?
Yeah,
For like, how much were they asking?
it's $70 after tax.
Oh.
So that'll limit a one bottle per person. So Alexis bought a bottle, and then I bought another bottle for him.
Yeah. I mean, like, it's not a bad bottle. It doesn't deserve all the hype that it gets, but at $70, like that's a good price to be able to walk in and get one. And Alexis is early enough in his bourbon career, like that's probably the best bottle he owns at this point. From what I remember seeing that he had. So that's a good pickup for him.
Yeah.
They have anything else good?
The only other thing that you don't see a lot on the shelf anymore is Eagle Rare.
Oh, they had that too?
Yeah, he got a bottle of it also.
I mean, those aren't ones that I hunt, but like if you're seeing those on the shelf, like that's a decent sign that's a decent store down there.
It just seems like the area depends on what's hard to get and what's not.
Oh, 100%. Yeah. Yeah, 100% the area. There's some places in the country that are really good and some places that aren't. All right.
Cool.
Before we get into stuff, just a reminder, like if you're watching on YouTube, please subscribe and like, and any comments that we can get. Like I love being able to interact with people there. So I try to respond to most comments that we get. What else did we have on that? Was that it? Like, comment, subscribe? Like, subscribe to us if you're listening on podcasts. The Discord. We really need to talk about Discord because Jeff has Jeff's one greedy little leprechaun over there. Is it leprechauns or freaking gnomes or what are the greedy little dudes? What was it? What were they in? Goblins in Harry Potter. Those were them greedy suckers. I think Jeff would fit in well with the goblins from Harry Potter. But you got a dragon trapped in your basement somewhere, or was that the old house?
Yeah, old house. But it was raccoons.
So he has shut down the Discord as far as new people coming in.
Yeah.
Until he's going to erect a paywall. Have you decided what you're going to charge people for this?
No, still looking into that and how we're gonna do it. It may be through like a patron type deal.
Yeah.
Do something like that, and it'll just be like access to our community, and then if we do like merch and stuff like that, it'll be offered. Because I think as of right now, most of what we've talked about releasing is like limited drop type stuff. So if we do that, then we'll offer those things to our Discord community before we go external. So it'll be like that, just kind of exclusive access to whatever we're going to be doing. And then obviously, when we're about to record, we post in there, hey, we're recording. And then I'm on there most days of the week. A little less active on the weekends, but like during the week, I'm in there. So
I check it about once a week on Mondays when I get on to record.
Jared is not in there, so you can get in there and talk shit about Jared. He usually has no clue.
Yeah, I'll argue with you if you want to argue about something on there. Yeah, Jared gets lots of. He's not there to defend himself, so what can he say? Like it's gonna happen. I'm on there fairly often, and there's like we've got there's kind of a crew that there's some like today we had this fun evening. We had some fun discussions about the Carry Optics division. So that I don't think anybody got called stupid. I don't think, but it was a good discussion. But we're getting close. I almost did. I had to stop myself. It's like, wait, no, don't do that. That's bad.
He's one of those keyboard warriors.
Oh, 100%.
He'll say anything over the keyboard, man.
100%. I ain't scared. Not from a phone. I'm not scared. But yeah, the Discord is fun. So
Yeah.
whenever
Anyway,
that's open again,
we hit 200 people in there. I just kind of like decided to call that the cap. So we killed all the invite links. So if you're hitting a link and it's not working, it's because we killed them. So it may take a few weeks for us to figure out the process on getting people in there and getting the invite and getting all the accounting side of that set up. But that is what's going on there. But anyway, if you don't want to be part of this Discord community, totally fine. But any support
but
as
you're
far
missing
as,
out.
yeah, subscribing and like, comment, all that stuff, much appreciated. And then we'll also be posting a link to Shooters Connection. That'll be in the description. So be sure and hit that if you are going to be purchasing anything shooting related.
Also, Travis has determined winners for our reload contest. And
yes, he said he has.
And as soon as Jeff can coordinate with him to get him on for to make a show and release who the winners are, then that'll obviously will go live on here, and then anybody that's on the Discord, like, we'll obviously release it on there and get their hats mailed to them.
I have 3 hats left of the first run of Hit Factor hats, and they will go to the 2 winners of the reload competition, because Travis is going to split it into a winner for a non-starting mag in a reload and 1 winner for people that used a starting mag in the reload. That's how he wanted to do it. He felt the reloads were different enough, and I'll just trust him on that since he's done more reloading and probably analyzing of that kind of stuff than anybody. So he wanted to do 2 winners, so we have 3 hats left, so we'll do 1 for each of them, and then I plan on sending 1 to Travis for doing this for us. And that'll be it, and then all those hats will be gone.
Yeah, and then we'll have a new contest come out here soon after that.
Yeah, we'll do something.
All right, so we're going to start off tonight with a question, and it is for Jared. And it says,
Camden.
What? His name is not Camden.
Oh.
His name is C-Class Legend.
Oh, I have no idea who that could be.
Because he is a C-Class Legend. And he wants to know what Jared thinks about embedded ROs and what would you do to make, he says, the match run smoother. I think he may be speaking directly to Dragon's Cup. And what would you change? And did you enjoy the queso?
Okay, first of all, I don't like embedded ROs for matches as like a normal competitor day. I get that that's just the case if you happen to be shooting on staff day. But I think it helps a lot in the overall match if the same crew is running the stage the entire weekend, because one, they know what they learn what to watch for as far as like how the swingers and stuff like that are set, or what issues they're seeing. Also, it helps ensure that like start positions are done exactly right. So we had embedded ROs on our squad, and there ended up being a start position that the RM needed to come over because the way it was written, it was not like possible to do it with a PCC for one of the guys on our team, or one of the people on our squad. So they actually had to call the RM to figure out what the start position was. Where if you have a staff of ROs on the stage the whole day, you know it's getting done the same way the whole time. As a competitor that paid and shooting on a normal day, I much prefer seeing that. I think it helps the match run smoother. It also helps make it more consistent.
So, okay, just so we are clear, like you signed up to shoot all day, what, Friday?
Yeah, I registered late, so I couldn't get a weekend.
Okay. So you signed up just all day Friday, which was not a staff day or anything like that.
Correct.
It was just a
staff shot on Thursday.
Okay. So then you get there then, and they have just traveling ROs with your squad.
Yeah, and not that and I will say the ROs on my squad did a fine job. They're good ROs, but I just think the match works better if it's the same set of ROs on the stage all day.
Were those ROs? They weren't shooting, were they?
No, but yes. So
Like
they
they
were
weren't.
they were done shooting, but one of them had to reshoot a stage. So when we got to that stage, he just shot it first.
Okay.
But
Yeah,
otherwise,
like
they were not shooting. But I think some of the stages had ROs that actually had to still shoot some stages or a bunch of the stages.
yeah, that's not so good. Yeah, like I feel like if like it's just a different. I don't know. Like if you're gonna do that, then if you shoot all day Friday, you get a price break, right? Like you pay less because it's a lesser. To me, it's a lesser experience.
I mean, I don't really relate it back to the price. I just think overall it helps the package of what the match is. Like as a criticism, I would say that is something that I would prefer to see changed.
Yeah.
And I just think it makes the match a better match.
Yeah, it doesn't totally make sense unless there were only like half the squads were full, so like they wanted to use less ROs on Friday. It doesn't actually make sense. If you have a full set of squads, then you have a full set of ROs for every stage. So having them travel with the squads actually doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, I think it was fully sold out as well.
Okay, so that makes like that doesn't. It's not like you get away with less staff doing it that way.
I think some of the staff still had to shoot the match with their squad that they were traveling with.
Well, if that's the case, like if they were actually like shooting, like competing and ROing at the same time, that's where I think like yeah, that should be a different match fee, because like those ROs aren't focused solely on ROing, like they're focused on shooting and then ROing, and then you end up like competitors kind of have to help out a lot more than normal, right? That's my take on it. How was the queso?
Well, each chip that I dipped in there was very expensive, so it was delicious.
Oh, really?
So Mr. C-Class Legend made a bet with Hopkins on a stage, and he lost. And we went out to Mexican food, and Hopkins ordered queso. And I actually didn't want queso, but whatever he said C-Class Legend was paying, I insisted that I needed to dip a chip in it because I had to have the free queso. Well, whenever the waitress brought our receipts, mind you, there was 4 of us, but C-Class Legend was paying for Hopkins. She actually divided the queso in 3. And Alexis doesn't even eat cheese, so we got to pay for 2/3 of the queso for 2 chips. It was great.
That's
nice.
That's awesome.
Well,
I don't know about you, Jared, but C-Class Legend bought Jeff's and I's food in Ozark, so I guess he just likes us better.
Well, he bought 1/3 of the queso for the table.
Wow, that's crazy. Would you change anything about that match?
So I think the overall match, the biggest thing I would change is I wouldn't shoot a match in the South in one day again. It was definitely warmer than normal for the season down there, so that wasn't really expected. It hadn't really gotten warm here until like that week. But I definitely I was still smoked on Sunday, like after I got home from being between the travel and the heat and everything. Like I was wore out. It was. I would much prefer to shoot that over 2 days. So that's a switch I would make on my own squatting going forward. I think I would have a much better time if I was doing half days in that heat and spending the other half day, hanging out, drinking water.
Yeah,
Drinking water.
It was so hot that by the time we got back to the hotel, I had 2 beers before dinner, and that's it. Like it was. And I regretted opening the second beer, but I didn't want it to go to waste.
That's fair. That's fair.
Once you get that hot, once you hit triple digits, like it gets just oppressively hot.
Yeah.
So that is a change I'd make. And then overall in the match, so let me preface this by saying, like, individually, the stages were all very good. But I do think the match could use a little more variety. I mean, it seemed overall we basically were shooting the same thing over and over. It was like a 29 to 32 round field course with activators in it.
Yeah.
So there wasn't any, like, there was only a couple of, like, medium courses that were like 21 or 19 rounds or something. They did make use of a lot of activators. Overall, the activators ran pretty well. There was only one activator I didn't care for, and it's one of those swingers that has like the second weight, so it bobs and swings. And it's just a target that I think is dumb in general.
Yeah, I agree.
So you shot 12 like full field courses in one day?
Yes, I shot exactly 360 rounds at the match.
So
Brutal.
30. So it was 30 rounds per stage average.
Yeah. So I think, generally speaking, I personally would prefer a little more variety with some, interesting short and medium courses in it.
Yep.
I know not everyone feels the same way, so I'm not too hard on it, but I just think that makes a better match, in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, especially like when it is going to be hot, like it is kind of like that you like have like a short stage that it's heavy on execution, heavy on that, but it's not so heavy on can you sprint real hard and memorize 30 rounds, where it's more just like, hey, can you stand up here and shoot? Like I don't think that's that's not a bad thing over 12 stages to have some like that. And short course doesn't mean boring, right? Like
no, and you can test more skills. Like when it's not that the stages aren't different, but when I say I mean that generally that they're very similar in that it's a field course with activators in it. Was the general theme of the match. Now, where credit's due, they did a very good job. I didn't see much issues with activators. I think I saw one reshoot from an activator that was set wrong. But otherwise, the stuff worked. It didn't give problems. The stage construction was sturdy, so there wasn't any issues with it. Everything worked like it was supposed to. The ROs knew how everything was supposed to reset, so that was good. But yeah, some stuff that maybe like a short course with activators, stuff where you have to shoot the sequence and stuff could be interesting. Just maybe a little more medium course type thing where it's you're still have the same amount of movement, a few less targets, brings the hit factor down, makes it a little more accuracy focused. Some of that stuff can certainly change a match for the better as well. Like it's not just a round count, but overall the match was well constructed and well ran.
Yeah, like to put on a good match, like first you have to build good stages. Like that's the 1st requirement. And it sounds like they had good stages. But then the other thing then is like to have a good match, like outside of everything working, but like to have a good match is that you have good stages that offer variety for the whole match, so that the whole match is a cohesive unit. Like you almost have to look at the whole match as a stage, and like each one, like what is it testing? Is it doing something different than what the stage before did?
And then also, I shot production in the match, and overall the stages were low cap, neutral or friendly. So there wasn't like, it wasn't a lot of walking up to this and being like, oh, I need to take a step and load the gun to shoot 5 more rounds here. They were pretty balanced. I mean, you could tell a lot of the guys building the stuff certainly shoot, high cap dot divisions overall, which I think is pretty typical these days. The most popular stuff. But the stages were well thought out and fair across the divisions. I don't think I saw anything that would have been an issue for single stack either. I didn't approach it from a single stack mindset with 8 rounds, but nothing stood out to me as like I had to shoot 10 rounds here.
Yeah. No, that's good. Sounds like a good match. Other than the heat, would have been awesome. How How was? I mean, obviously you didn't stick around for awards. Like I know that like my buddy Teak and Charlie Berry were there cooking. Like I saw them. They have a pizza place there in Odessa or Midland, or maybe both. But I think they were cooking breakfast. I don't know if they cooked lunch, but looked like
Yeah,
they were there cooking.
they provided lunch. I'm not sure if they had food or like breakfast for the competitors also, or just the staff. Obviously, it was already hot. I was not interested in eating any more food, but uh, they had coolers between every bay. We did have a couple times where one of the coolers ran dry. It was a little small, and they weren't. It's the hottest part of the day. It wasn't getting refilled quick enough, but they were certainly making their best effort. I knew they ran and bought more water during the day because I think they actually were running low. I think there was more water drank than expected.
Yeah.
But obviously it was exceptionally hot. And then, with it being a fairly dry heat there, it's not, for those guys that live in more humid areas where you really sweat a lot, you're still sweating there. You just don't notice it because it's not like sticking to you.
It dries. Yeah.
Yeah.
It comes out and it dries. Yeah. And then so like the match looked awesome. Like their awards, like I saw just a picture from their awards. Like it had it like in an actual like banquet room, like not like on the range. Like, and they had like their trophies are like these like wrestling belts, like big like WWE type wrestling belts.
I think they did that for high overall, and then they had their normal like dragon shaped trophy for like first, second, and third and stuff.
Yeah. They had a cash payout, which this was pretty cool. Like this was for stage wins. I don't know if there was a cash payout for like actual winners or if it was just the stage wins, but if there were 40 or more in a division, it was $125 per stage win. 20 or 30 to 39, there were $75 per stage win. 20 to 29, there were $50 per stage win, and 10 to 19, there were $25 per stage win. I thought that was pretty cool. Like it's kind of a judicious way to like, hey, these divisions brought in the most money, so our cash payout's going to be better per stage for them. Mm-hmm. It does kind of, rather than just paying the one person who wins a division, like it does kind of give you like more people, like you have a chance to win the stage. Like there's a lot of people are capable of winning stages that may not be quite as capable of winning the match. And so that's kind of cool to be able to get a check for something like that.
Yeah, Jared, did you know that there was going to be a prize for each stage win going into the match?
I don't know if I did or not. I think someone told me at the match. I don't remember. I knew it, I think, by the time I finished shooting, but I didn't know it. I don't know if I knew it beforehand or not. I don't remember when I heard it.
I imagine like that would just be a major factor. It's like if you're the type of person that like shows up and has like a shitty first couple of stages, you might just be like, okay, well, the rest of the match, I'm going for cash.
Wait,
it could just be another factor to throw in. Could make it interesting.
Jeff, if you're there, let's say you were shooting. Let's say production happened to have 40 shooters in it.
Yeah.
And it was $125 per stage win. You're going to pay for your trip if you can win 2, and you're plus money if you win over that. Like, you're going for stage wins every time.
Yeah,
you can't mine crypto that fast.
No. But the thing, especially this match, with it being all field courses, I don't know that that's something that I would be very good at, like managing that intensity for a large field course. Like I could see on like a short or medium stage being like, okay, I can rip on this. It's just a couple of steps. It's like hyper focused on the shooting part. But on like a field course, I would be less good at saying, okay, I'm going for the stage win on this one.
Man, I think I would be ripping for stage wins every stage.
Yeah.
Just go for it. See how much money I can win.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think I would. Maybe, I don't know. I've never shot a match like that, but I don't think I would. But that's why I was asking Jared. I was asking if he knew going into it, and if that was something he thought about when he came up to a stage or not.
Yeah, it definitely didn't impact me like on the stages. I just shot the stages. Some of them better than others.
Yeah.
So okay, so how was your match? Well, sorry. Before we get into that, like, so that part of why I'm bringing up their awards and all that is we have nationals coming next week, and I'm very curious to see how little Podunk, Odessa, Texas, does with they put on a match themselves without all the money that USPSA has to throw at a match, and how it compares to
I am sure
to our
you're going to be
nationals.
impressed.
What, you don't think it's gonna? You think maybe it look like this?
I have area trophies that are nicer than those.
They are the trophies are at nationals this year. The trophies are better than that. Like they'll be at the match, but then you won't get to take them home. They will send them off to have them engraved, like your name and all of that sort of stuff on it that they'll mail to you afterwards. So that's what they're doing for the national trophies this year. So Jeff, like you literally got like you got like the year that you did well at nationals is like pretty much the worst year to have done well as far as the trophy's concerned.
Yeah, you could take
pretty bad.
You could take an eraser and remove everything relevant on that trophy.
It'll be convenient when you recycle it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So, Jared, you shot. It looked like you had a decent match.
Yeah, I mean, overall, I shot pretty well. I certainly a little slow on a couple of stages, but it's hard to know the pace sometimes. I really wasn't too disappointed in my shooting. I mean, accuracy was fairly good. I had one stage that was less than ideal, and it just happened to be one of those cases where, the mistakes that weren't bad were also on the stage where there was a bad mistake. So I shot a round into a hardcover on a tuxedo on the stage, and then that funky activator that bobs also. I just happened to put two just perfectly stacked deltas right past the C line, and then another target I was shooting kind of around the wall. I was just shot as soon as I saw the target instead of having a perfect spot, and shot two delta. So and I left a steel up because I ran dry, because I think I was running 9 rounds on the end or something. And so I had two mic on the stage with 4 delta. So it was a very low finish, but overall, I don't think it actually made a difference in my score. Matt Nash won the match, and Stephen Lutman was second. And just overall, they shot better overall than I did. A little quicker, similar accuracy, so they finished a little higher. But I wasn't terribly disappointed in my shooting. I mean, it was good overall.
Yeah, it looks like that was stage 7, and you gave up 45 match points.
Yeah,
it was quite a bit
to the winner. I mean, that doesn't mean you would have won, but
Lutman, does he shoot production all year?
Production's his primary division, but he shoots some CO. I think he's shooting CO Nats again this year.
Yeah.
But production's kind of his main division, so he's in the area. He's one of the couple of guys from, Missouri, Kansas, Iowa, Nebraska type area that I'll see at majors that's also a production shooter.
Yeah.
Yeah, y'all's scores, this is why production, I'm actually kind of sad that even though I don't shoot it, that the participation has gone down, because if you look at the top,
see it die, huh?
Well, I'm hoping that it's going to make a resurgence. I'm hopeful that that'll happen. But the top 3 in production were basically Matthew Nash won, Steve Lutman was second, Jared Fox was third. I don't know what's happening on who was fourth. There's a double last name. I don't know. G Chancellor Maddie. I'm not trying to be rude. I don't know what to do with that. But each of y'all, the top 3, each were 3 seconds apart.
It's Grant Chancellor Madison.
Grant Chancellor Madison.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Y'all were each 3% apart. And Jared was basically 13 seconds slower than first place, but then the second place person was basically 14 seconds faster than first place.
Yeah.
So drastic different times, and not that big a split. Basically, Jared shot everything. Jared basically shot identical to Matthew Nash. He was a second slower per stage, and he had 2 more misses. Otherwise,
Yeah.
points were basically identical.
Mm-hmm.
And then Lutman just like he was way faster. He just a little too many deltas, right? Like that's
So
just too many points down. Well, and 6 misses.
Lutman's pretty quick, anyways. But I was watching scores as they was updating on Saturday while I was traveling home, and I think he got off to a pretty rough start. So I imagine it kind of freed him up a little bit, and then he really shot lights out after lunch. It looks like.
Yeah, if he started on the first half, then yeah, he had a couple.
Yeah, he started. I think on
dingers in there.
so at that match you shot like stages 1 through 7, I think it was, or 1 through 6, and then you shot 7 through 12, like in the afternoon, or vice versa.
Okay. Okay, so they had it set up like that.
But he was on the top half, so it was. I think when I looked earlier, he had several mics. I think he got off to a rough start, but obviously he finished very strong.
Yeah, holy cow! His second half of the day versus the first half of the day is like night and day. He definitely would have. I mean, it's what it could have, should have, but he would have definitely done a lot better. I mean, yeah, Matthew Nash, like he had like looks like he only had like 2 stage wins. So like he wasn't lighting the world on fire at all. He was just really solid and consistent all day long. I mean, it looks like Jeff's scores.
Yeah, he shot very well. There's a couple stages where, like, I don't know. I guess I'll probably see when there's more video. I don't know if I just kind of chose wrong plans or what. Like, obviously, there's some stuff I was like, yeah, there was a mistake here. I knew where I gave up time. There's a couple of them where it's like that stage was not that bad before they shot it, so I don't know where the difference was. I'm sure I'll probably see when some videos come out. Maybe I picked the wrong plan, or there was a couple of like disappearing targets that I shot that maybe others didn't. So that stuff can certainly factor in there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. All right, let's look through the rest of this one real quick and then move on.
So to me, not the most interesting, but interesting division here was CO, and Christian and JJ were the 2 hitters that shot it. And if y'all remember, Christian, JJ, and Max, all 3 shot was Area 6, I think, earlier in the year.
Yeah.
And Christian shot well, like he shot really good points, but he was just slower than them. And I don't know, he was like 5%, 4 or 5%, I think. I'm just going off my poor memory.
Yeah,
off
I
that.
think it was
and,
like 4%, 3 to 4%, something like that.
Yeah. And so then the fact that JJ was shooting this here, Christian was just a few seconds faster than JJ, which JJ's usually pretty quick and efficient.
Mm-hmm.
And Christian shot, he shot 19 less Charlies than JJ. So Christian just kept shooting a whole lot of alphas. And was
Christian he's a super freaking accurate shooter. Also, like, something that was kind of interesting about this match is, so since Christian has sort of like rose to power, basically, the last match that he shot was his first loss in quite some time, I believe. So that was what made this one kind of interesting, is coming back and seeing how he was going to handle that loss. Seeing if it was going to get in his head or if he was going to make adjustments and bring the heat right back, which is what it looks like he did to me.
Yeah, like he was signed up for single stack nationals earlier in the year, and I kind of wonder, it's pure speculation. I kind of wonder if like after Area 6, like he lost to JJ and Max, and it was kind of like, yeah, I don't want to take the time to shoot a single stack gun. Like I don't want to lose in CO again, and so I'm just going to put all my effort into CO, which is like that's a big transition from CO with a dot to single stack major. Like that's pretty drastically
So it's a
different
pretty
there.
radical change.
Yeah.
Like very different approaches.
I would like to see. I don't know. I don't know if this is interesting or not, but every gun that Christian shoots, he has a like massive like thumb rest on, huge on his L10 gun, his open gun, and his CO gun. So, I mean, I don't know if it's like if he has to have it, but I would like to see him shoot a division where he doesn't have that grip.
Yeah.
I'm not like calling him out or anything. I just think it's interesting because he has a very like forward grip. Like his thumb is almost over the top of the slide grip. It's just really interesting.
Yeah, so like I had thought like this was I'm sure I just missed it with the rule changes. Like there were kind of like some like thumb rest, like kind of sort of thumb rest were allowed in production and CO, like if they were basically if it was the slide stop and then if it had a little extra meat on it, that was cool. But then like Christians rocking this thumb rest that like it's like sticks out at the gun like an inch to like outside of it, and then it's like an inch and a half tall. Like it is huge.
So it's the perfect example of unintended consequences from making very poor rule judgments and changes. Because they basically said, "Oh, it's part of the slide stop. It's a replacement slide stop. It's fine." Well, they didn't kind of. I mean, it's gotten crazy. Like that thumb rest is as big as what's on most people's open guns.
That's bigger than what's on a lot of people's open guns.
I don't blame him for using it if he likes it. I just think that the rules should have never progressed to the level of allowing that.
Yeah, like I don't want to try to put it out there that Christian is cheating in any sort of way. Like I don't want to try to like insinuate that.
He's 100% in compliance with the with how the rules are currently written.
But I will also say this: like you're shooting a Shadow 2, like a heavy gun with minor. And I will 100% make fun of you if you got to have a thumb rest that big to shoot that gun.
It's kind of a miss thing. You're not really going to be controlling the recoil with a thumb rest. Because if you're pushing on that thumb rest, you're going to push the gun around and not.
Well,
you're probably going to shoot a whole bunch of low rights. But I think most people that are using them, it's just more of a consistency thing in their grip. Like their grip is the same every time.
Maybe.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know that I totally agree with that. But it is like it's Christian's grip. Like that's his grip on every gun that I've seen him shoot in competition for the last couple of years is he has that massive pedal up there. So like that's the grip he's established. That's like his recoil management, everything. He has the same grip for every gun, and he's that very forward thumb up grip. So it's just interesting. So regardless of if it's 9mm major or minor or whatever, like that's his grip. So
yeah, it's funny to me on a division that's called carry optics. Like it's a like I would like to see that on an appendix carry. Like rock that when you're appendix carrying that Shadow 2. So yeah, but he beat JJ. So I mean, like Carry Optics Nationals is looking like it's going to be quite entertaining, and I look forward to seeing that go on. I'm sure JJ, like this is like these are like JJ's boys. Like he's taught a bunch of classes down there in Midland at that range. Like they've brought him in a bunch of times to teach, and so like he's good friends with them. Like so this was not a home match, like home. But like kind of like that, and so like I bet it's eating on him that he lost a bit. Maybe not, but I feel like it probably is. I'm gonna drum it up like it is.
Yeah, I like the narrative you're painting.
Yeah,
I feel like JJ's a very competitive person, so I'm gonna guess that he does not like losing, and it probably feels inspired to get better.
Yeah. Limited was super tight at the top. For two young guys.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Gianni in first, and Rolling Nathaniel Texan.
Yeah,
I don't know.
it's not. It sounded like when Jeff said that, it sounded like Texan, like he's from Texas, but it's Tecson. He's Filipino. He's from the Philippines. Really young kid. I heard about this kid a couple years ago. Like people saying like this dude's the next. Like he's the next JJ. Like he's the next crazy good Filipino. And I'm like, okay, like that seems cool. And like he has spent some time in the States training, I think, but I think he's still living in the Philippines, but like he's young. Like Johnny's young. I think Johnny's maybe 20. Is he? I don't even know if he's even 21 yet.
I think he's like still in his teens. I think he's like 18 or something.
He might be 18, 19. He's still young, and I think this kid is maybe even younger than him by a year or two. So you're talking two young kids that can just freaking rip. Like they're really fast. And
they can shoot insanely fast, both of them.
Yeah, because we got Gorka Ibanez, which is, I mean, he should have been pretty well used to the heat. I mean, Florida doesn't get quite that hot, but it's so humid there. Like Gorka was down at 87% of those guys, which is a little bit surprising. I don't know if he had
I thought that was
stages.
I thought that was pretty surprising.
He was like honestly like there's no like huge drastic. It's just a lot of 80% finishes for Gorka. So I don't know if he had something going on. I was surprised to see him down low. Third place was Chris Culpepper. He's a really solid shooter. Shoots for the Air Force, as far as I know. And he's always like just really consistent.
Yeah, he's very good. Seems like he's improved a lot over the last 2 or 3 years. Also, like definitely keep seeing his name higher up the list.
Yeah, he's good. So that was, man, they were close. Less than 4 match points apart, 0.27 percentage apart. Gianni was 6 seconds faster than he was. Johnny was a bit sloppier, but they only had 1 miss each. So and they both had eight deltas. So like, man, they're blazing fast, but it's not like they're throwing shots everywhere.
Right. Yeah.
So
that's impressive. Dang.
Those are 2 names to look out for in the future. I'll be interested to see how they do. Kind of, I don't know if they're ready for like nationals this year to really like compete to win, but I think in a year or 2 they will be. Maybe they are this year. I don't know, but we will see. And then Open, I'm waiting.
Open.
There it goes.
Open was KC.
Yeah, but but not by a ton.
And then Aaron Edmonds and Dexter Bradley, who are both AMU guys.
Oh, they're both AMU guys. Okay.
Mm-hmm. And they're very good. They're very good open shooters. I mean, they're both.
They were less than 3% away from KC, so
they're consistent top 10 finishers at nationals. I mean, they're good.
I didn't actually recognize the Dexter Bradley name. I guess I've missed that one. The crazy thing is that Christian was only 2% off of KC. KC shooting open and Christian shooting carry optics. So that kind of shows.
That's nuts.
He put down a really, really solid performance there.
Yeah, a couple of videos I saw, it looked like he was shooting that CO gun like an open gun.
Yeah.
And obviously he's quite good.
And Max Leograndis won PCC.
So I shot with Max. Max shot on fire. Like he was fast and he was shooting extremely well. I'd be kind of surprised if he didn't win the bulk of the stages.
In PCC?
Yeah. Let's see. It is.
Yes.
Looks like there's 3 that he did not win.
Yes, and he was second on 2 of those, and 1 he was 5th on. I'm guessing that's the. Nope, that was not the one that he had to miss on. Just
no, he had won the stage. He had a bike on. Like he was fast.
Yeah, I mean he's still like when it comes to PCC, Has he lost? He's won every PCC national championship that we've had, right?
I think so, yeah.
All right. Anything else from Dragons Cup, Sasquatch? Takeaways?
No. I think that covers it pretty well.
You didn't cover single stack, did you?
Oh,
No. Phil Strader won single stack.
he's still my pick for nationals. He's gonna win.
He's on a winning streak.
He's on a winning streak.
There were all of 7 competitors in single stack at this match. I think most anybody that's shooting single stack is kind of like, I don't want to go to Midland, Texas a week before nationals and shoot in 100-degree heat. Phil is probably like, this was his one practice session, but he's like, there's a match down there, I'll go shoot it, and that'll be my practice session.
Well, he's pretty tight with Matt Nash. I think they were traveling together, so.
Oh, okay.
My guess is it was more of a, this will be fun, go hang out with the bros, shoot a match.
And then,
could have been.
I don't know if it's Justine or Jalise. I can't keep them straight. The one that was shooting single stack, she was second at 91% of Phil, which is actually pretty impressive.
And she did choose minor.
Yeah, she always shoots minor. So that's, she shot well.
Yeah.
I think in the overall she might have beaten some production shooters on a lot of production shooters at this match. I think she would have been like second in production.
Always possible.
Let's see.
What's crazy is like how far down in the overall the production shooters are. Like the winner of production was 106th overall.
Yeah, Phil would have won production at this match. And then Justine or Jalise, whichever, would have been third in production had she if you combine those two divisions. Which that's pretty impressive from her. She's
would have
been
been
shooting
fourth.
well.
Would have been fourth. Lutman would have beat her also.
Lutman was second in production.
Yeah, it'd have been Phil.
Oh, if
Matt,
you had
if
those.
you combined them.
Yeah, I just meant if you put her just in production. I'm sorry. Yeah, Phil was there, then she was fourth. Yeah. All right, so Shooters Connection. You guys have heard it before, but if you need anything shooting related, go to Shooters Connection. There'll be a link in the show notes, and all of our podcast, YouTube. You should be able to find a link for that. They've got everything you need for the sport. So I'm sure you're low on something. Pro grip, pasters, targets. Maybe you need new mags, like you're like Jeff and you've been using one set of mags. You don't have practice mags. Go get them. Like your inner belt, I'm sure is worn out. Like you need a new inner belt. Like it's amazing how much better like your outer belt sticks to your body when you've got a new, fresh inner belt. Like go buy one of those.
Yeah, I saw they had the new.
I thought everyone got a new
Henning,
one
the Henning hanger and pouches too.
They already have Hennings? Okay, yeah. You got to go to Shooters Connection. Get the T1000. And you got to be rocking the T1000. Like, it's the coolest hotness that's going on. It's bussin'. Like, there's just no other, like, that is the best word for it. It's bussin'.
And most importantly, it comes in blue and matches my blue grips.
Yeah.
There you go.
It's the most important part.
Dude, I think the next hats that we come out with, it needs to have bussin' on it somehow.
Oh God, no!
Yes.
Please, no.
We're gonna have to do it. We're gonna do a special run of that.
No,
for sure.
let us avoid internet fads. Let's do that.
That's not an internet fad, man.
Yes.
That's the greatest.
Yeah, no.
That is the greatest video Instagram has ever produced.
That is an internet fad. And we're just really late to it, so it feels like it's something small community. It's not.
Dude, I'm old, so I'm fine with it. Like
it seems like a great thing to put on the back of a hat.
Yeah. I'm down.
Okay.
I'm down for that.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right. That'll be Jeremy's limited bussin hats. They're
Yeah,
gonna be
We'll make a total of one.
they're gonna be pink with zebra stripes on them, and they're gonna say bussin on.
pink. Well, with like a blue brim because that syrup that guy had was blue, right?
Yeah. Pink hat, blue brim, zebra stripes, bussin.
Bussin', yo.
Yeah.
It sounds perfect.
Oh god, it sounds Joe Exotic is what it sounds.
I'd rock that hat. I'm not scared.
It'll be perfect when he comes to visit Oklahoma.
Yeah. What else? What else is coming up? Single stack nationals, right?
Yep. I leave
This weekend.
Well, yeah, this is as of we're recording it. I leave like 3 days from now. This will come out
Yeah.
afterwards. But
Right. Yeah. This episode will be airing as you are returning. So, what do you want to say to yourself
gosh,
before you leave? Like as you're coming back, you've had a good run, you've had a bad run, you're feeling in the pits. You didn't go to the awards because it went so poorly. You
dang,
went
Jeff,
to
like
to the awards. You won the whole thing. Like what do you want to hear from yourself?
that is like I'm not prepared to answer that question. Like that's like I don't know what I want to say. Like what I hope, like what I would like to hope out of this is that I will like enjoy and embrace the competition side of things.
Okay.
Like almost like this may I don't know this some people this may sound like cat scratches on a chalkboard. Like almost like get away a little bit from the process. Like
Okay.
right, like people preach this mental game like that you got to be all focused on the process. You got to be process based on everything, and I get that. That's getting you away from being results, like just being focused on the results.
Okay.
But I hope a little bit like I can enjoy the competition, kind of embrace that, and like when I get nervous, like realize that is why I'm there. Like I'm there to feel those nerves because like I want to enjoy that. So that's like I hope that happens. That I can do that. Like it. I mean, it always gets colored. Like if you go and shoot a really bad match, like it's going to be hard to remember anything positively about the match, right? Whereas if you shoot a great match, then you're going to remember everything positively, right? Like I don't like that's. Like and so like that's like maybe like there might be some mental people out there that are saying, well, you're already screwed because you're already basing your outcome based on results, so you're just thinking about results. That maybe that's the case. I'm just kind of like I just feel like that's kind of natural inclination. Like when you shoot well, you're happy. When you shoot poorly, you're not.
Yeah.
So you know, like today, like I shot I don't know 110 rounds, pretty short practice session, just to go out and shoot. I'll have another at least one more kind of big 250 round session before I leave. And today was kind of a like just like it was kind of like a heat check, even though like I'm not like on like this hot streak, but it's like a heat check. Like, okay, what do I have to take to this? And I don't have like going out and just shooting, just flat out, just shooting crazy. Like, like I don't have that. Like that will be a disaster. And so like I really need to do a really good job of this is really kind of a JJ teaching. I think I haven't ever been to one of his classes, but see him on Instagram, like knowing what your control targets are, like knowing like, okay, any sort of like difficult target, like for me, like that means double prep. So that means like a prep for both shots.
Okay.
Not just prepping on the first one and just burning through it. Like if there's a tight shot, like for me to really do that well, I need a double prep on both, which doesn't mean shooting slow. Like I can prep the second shot and still run a 35 to 40 split. So it's like if it's a tight shot at all, like you're really not going to be shooting faster than that anyway.
I kind of feel like that's more like a cue that just helps you focus on giving that target the respect it needs, though.
Yeah, for sure. and like I need to identify those. Like I need to kind of go through the match. Like whenever I'm doing my stage plan, like 100% identify those. Like okay, these like we're prepping the trigger for both shots, and that's how we're gonna get through those. I'm struggling a little bit in practice. Like it does seem like whenever a match gets close, like I don't know, it's like my shooting just gets crappier. But like the progress that I was seeing earlier in the year, like I'm seeing more of what I was doing last year in practice, and so like it's really frustrating that it's almost like I'm putting in more work. I'm being more focused. Like I'm trying to do everything right, and like it's almost like the results are going the opposite direction. So I mean that's frustrating. Because it's like you're trying to do exactly what you were doing when things were doing what they were supposed to, and it's kind of not. So like it's a little frustrating right now, but I'm going to do everything I can to be positive and work my way through it as best I can.
There you go. There you go.
You're going to shoot good.
Like I feel like if I can get off the ground like the first couple stages, like get those going, then I've got a chance like to have a good match. It's just I don't need to donate 40 or 50 match points on the first two stages. So
yeah, well, just don't.
Just shoot the things and have a good time.
That's what I'm gonna try to do.
Who are you shooting with?
Bob Crow's on my squad. The Brown boys, Scott and what's
Jack.
Scott and Jack. I know Scott because Scott shot single stack. That's why I remember Scott's name. But Jack's shooting. I think Jack's shooting limited 10.
Well, he is. Scott's the one with the hit factor hat. Jack's the one who still doesn't have one.
Oh, good to know.
His dad has one too, though. But Jack
his dad
does not
has
have
one too. Perfect. That's awesome. Obviously, he doesn't want one that bad because he did not submit a reload for the reload challenge. Because Scott there's a good chance Scott's going to win that. So Scott could have 2 hit factor hats now, and Jack won't have a single one.
I really hope he gets another one and gives it to his mom. So everyone can wear one at the matches except for Jack.
That would be awesome. That'd be great. Steve Schroof is on my squad. There's a couple other like solid shooters. Good. So I've got a good squad to shoot with. And Bob will be a good. Bob and Scott and Jack will all be really good. Like,
what are Bob's interactions with you on during a match? Because I've never shot with Bob. Like, what's he like during a match?
I mean, Bob's normally having fun and cutting up and shooting really well. Like he has lots of fun on the range. And usually like, I don't know if I've ever, I love shooting with Bob because like Bob is one of my best friends, but I don't know if I've ever shot a good match shooting with Bob. Like it's maybe not like a great plan for me to shoot with him. Bob and I came into the sport almost the exact same time. I mean, I was maybe a few months ahead of him, but basically for all intents and purposes, we started shooting at the same time. And like he took to the sport and was like, I mean, I think he was top 10 his first nationals that he went to, like very first nationals, he was top 10. And this was back when they were in Vegas. And like, he is just like, he's the most natural shooter that I've ever known. Now he's like a freaking giraffe. Like he's not like, you watch him shoot and it's not, you don't look at him like, man, that is an athlete. But like he does have such long legs and he goes over there and like he just freaking rips. And like I watch him shoot and it like he shoots his 40 major guns and it looks like a 22. It's like that gun is not moving out of the A zone on a 25-yard target. And it frustrates me because like, man, I need to be able to do that. Like, and I've spent a lot of time training thinking I need to be able to do that. And I can't I just can't.
Yeah.
Like it almost wouldn't matter how much I worked out. I couldn't do that. And so like I have to, I've figured out like for me to shoot with Bob unless there's some sort of timing sequence that I want to see, like I need to not watch him shoot.
Yeah.
Like, even though he's my buddy, I want to know how he does. I want to be watched. I want to pay attention to his match and see how he's doing. I need to not watch him shoot because I think because we came with the sport at the same time, like we shot Area 2 together. It was like our first match that we shot together, I think. And we didn't know each other at all. Like, we just randomly were squatted together. And this was like my third or fourth major ever. And we've been really good friends since. But for whatever reason, me watching him shoot and like him like just crushing something, especially if I've already shot it, kind of shot it poorly, like it gets in my head worse than like anybody else. Like I don't know, other than like he's just the guy because we've been in the sport together, like that I've always compared myself to. That like I should be able to beat him because I know the effort that he has put in and the effort that I've put in, like as far as like dry fire, rounds fired, like stuff like that. It's like I should be able to beat him.
Yeah.
And he's tough to beat. So I don't know if that answers your question or not, but
yeah. Well, that'll make for it'll be interesting. Because have you ever shot at nationals with him?
Yeah, I shot limited nationals a few years ago. It was the last one that was in St. George. He hadn't shot in a while. Like otherwise, he'll be on the super squad, but he hadn't shot like a couple years prior to that nationals, and so we squatted together. And yeah, kind of typical for him. Like he shot, and he came basically zero practice. I think he shot 1,000 rounds in like the month, like over the whole month leading up to that, and like that was his practice, like all of his practice, and he was I think 9th at that match. Oh God. And I was not in the top 10. I don't know where I was, but it was not top 10. He's always telling me like, dude, you've got to get out of your own head. Like you've just got to like, you just need to go like put the sights in the old target and just pull the trigger. And for him, that's as simple as it is. Like,
right. Yeah.
He's literally
just shooting, like he's shooting subconscious pretty much.
Yes.
Like he's just running.
He shoots 100% visually. Like,
yeah.
Like he just, as long as he will pay attention to the sights in the middle of what he wants to hit, he will hit it.
Yeah.
It's just whenever he rushes that it doesn't.
Yeah. So it's like what you said about him the other day. Is like he's never trained like trigger pull. Like it's never been something that he's even thought about. Right. Yeah. Right. I mean, he when he shoots, when he tells you to get out of your head, it's because he's shooting like 100% subconscious. Like everything that happens is just happening. Yep.
Yeah. So, he's one of the, he's probably like one of the most popular, like if you know him, he's like the most popular guy on the range. Like if you know him, and he's super analytical. Like he can be super analytical. He's really smart, even though he barely graduated high school. Cause he was just a dumb. Like he would rather go in the mountains and like ride motorbikes and kill things like prairie dogs, not people, like prairie dogs and stuff like that. Clarify that a little bit. Then go to school.
You should have just let that go. Yeah,
probably so. Most people have quit listening by now, but yeah, like he'll be fun. I'm picking him up in Birmingham. He's flying in there, and I'm picking him up, and it'll be fun.
Hell yeah!
And you got a match coming up. You got
yeah.
What do they call it? Yes. Mid-Plains?
Great Plains.
Great Plains.
Yeah, so this weekend also, as Jeremy is headed to Single Stack Nationals, I'm headed to Great Plains, shoot the Great Plains Sectional with Jean-Luc Rubin of Rubin's Reid Loading.
Yeah, why did you decide to go to that match, Jeff?
Well, Jean-Luc offered me a ride up there and and a slot to shoot the match. So, I mean, I guess you could say I'm being sponsored by Rubin's Reloading for this match, since he's offering a ride and the match slot. So, thank you to Rubin's Reloading. I've never shot this match in South Dakota, so I'm leaving Friday. Jeremy's leaving Thursday, and we're both going to be shooting in different parts of the country this weekend.
Dang,
be
I'm
fun.
just shooting a local.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sad that they put Great Plains on the same weekend as Nationals. Because I actually would have gone up to that. Like if it had been like a week ago or 2 weeks ago, or
Yeah.
maybe a couple weeks after it, I might have tried to go to it. I've never shot a match in South Dakota. I don't think so.
Yeah, me either.
Would have been a cool
Yeah.
match to shoot.
And apparently, I was talking to John Luke. Apparently, we're going to hit up some sort of distillery. Sorry. There's just a lot of dispensaries around here.
Yeah, Jeff.
Distillery.
There is a drug policy for USPSA, and there also is a requirement as far as owning firearms that you don't smoke pot. So
That's right.
That's just what which is
why we're only going to get alcohol. Okay.
Yes. Alcohol is perfectly fine. It's part of the ATF. So you're going to a distillery. That'll be cool.
Yeah. I don't know anything about it. He has the one that I guess he's been to before. He knows of the place, so we're gonna stop there. And I think that's all I know is planned. I don't know anything about the match. I think they released a match book. I haven't looked at it. Yeah.
Are you gonna shred?
Yeah, man.
Like, are you feeling solid with where you're at?
I feel good. Yeah, I feel better than I have my last few matches because I have written a couple of little posts about this on the Discord when I kind of document my morning training on there.
Mm-hmm.
When I switched to the Canic, I feel like I lost my trigger pull mechanics changed. I don't know. I don't really have any evidence to back this up other than I started dropping a lot of points, which is pretty good evidence, I guess. But yeah, when I switched guns, I started dropping a lot of points. Like I just couldn't hang the points, which you really need the points in production. Like you have to shoot even more disciplined, I guess, than you would in a major division shooting major. Okay, so your trigger pull gets worse, and you have to have those points. I think I kind of took a confidence hit. It's like, so I started really trying to over-confirm my hits.
Oh yeah.
Thinking that, okay, well, I'm just not giving it the proper respect because I never really had a problem, with the trigger pull before. So anyway, just a combination of different things like that, I think was really affecting me. But for the last month now, I've been working trigger press pretty religiously, and I think I've made a lot of progress. So I am excited to see how we do at this match. Excited. I think I'm going to be able to shoot a lot better points. Hopefully, I'm really hoping that this match isn't set up for strictly dot guns. I would like to shoot a normal match that at least had some forethought into people shooting iron sights at it.
Well,
so we'll see.
Who's your heat? Who are you competing against?
I don't know. It's a good question. I really don't know. I would have to go look.
I figured you took a look and see who else was shooting production.
No, I haven't. So there we go. Maybe, yeah, we'll see what happens.
I want to see you shred. I expect you to win production. Is Jonathan Anderson shooting it? I mean, he's from up there, so I would think he would be.
I think he's been shooting CO.
Oh, has he? He could have been. He had been shooting production, but CO would kind of make sense.
Yeah, I don't know.
We do need to give a shout out to our boy C-Class Legend. He did actually get bumped up to B class, and I gave him a bunch of crap on some. He sent me some videos of some stages, and the dude was hunting for dots. Half the stage time he spent hunting for dots. He'd get to a position and stand there for a second before he started shooting, and so he actually dry fired some, and this was his first match in B class, I think, and he came in 5th B class. He was 68% of KC, and the winner
Solid.
of B class was 75%. So, but what's cool is he was only 5 seconds back on time from the guy who won B class,
Oh,
and he just like his delta count. That's what I told him. He sent me stuff like he had 21 deltas. Like he shot a lot of deltas.
that's actually
And so
impressive.
it actually it does mean that it's kind of like if he's pushing a little bit, like it makes sense that like you kind of got to give up if you're going to go faster, you're going to have to give up something. So within 21 deltas and four mics, so like to me, like that's his next. Like he's got to cut out the deltas, and then he's right up winning B class type thing. So good job, Camden. Like I'm gonna give you a shout out for being good. I still remember that meal that you bought us at what was that place called?
Caesar's? Isn't that at Caesar's?
Well, Caesar's was the first Old Mexico, right? Caesar's Old
Yeah,
Mexico.
Old
Yeah, that's
Mexico.
what it was.
Yeah,
It was really good, but it took a long time to get our seat.
that place was killer. I was fine with that. It was good, and Camden bought our meal, so I'm gonna give him a shout out. So if anybody else wants like shout outs, like match, like if you want us to talk about your match, buy me and Jeff some Mexican food, and
Hey,
I'll be happy to give you a shout out on the podcast.
yes, we'll take bribes.
Jeff might even like if you're not on the Discord and you want to get in, if you buy him like some fajitas and a couple margaritas. Well, that's Jeff, so probably one is all he can handle. But if you buy him a margarita, like he'll probably give you a link to the Discord. So anybody that's going to be in South Dakota,
no promises, but
it's very likely.
It could happen.
I'll get you in. I'm a moderator. If you buy me some fajitas and a margarita, I'll get you into the Discord. Some way, somehow.
Wow. That seems
I'm
almost
cheap.
sketchy, putting that information out there.
I'm fine with it. I'll take bribes all day of the week.
Yeah, that's it. We don't really have time for any questions. Dude, we have to freaking make time for questions.
All right.
It's just we got so many questions we need to get to. So many good questions we need to get to.
They're coming, okay? We got summer months coming up where there's no big matches.
I pretty much have a match every month this summer.
Oh, I don't.
Yeah, I believe that.
Next one's Rocky Mountain 300. I'm actually going to shoot limited minor because 60 round stages with a 10 round gun didn't seem like fun.
No. 60 round stages actually doesn't sound fun at all to me. So
that match is fun, but you know exactly what you're going for when you go to it. It's a good time. I enjoy it.
Good for you.
All right. Thanks for listening, everybody, and y'all have a good week. If you see us at matches, come say hi, and we'll see you guys later.
Peace.
That was so weird. So awkward.
Oh, stop recording, damn it.